What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another brand new F1 2020 career mode video. We're here for round number 3 of the season today here at Hanoi, the Vietnam Grand Prix. One that I've been particularly looking forward to, but at the same time I've been kind of dreading this race a little bit as well, as obviously this is a new circuit. From what I've heard, the AI are pretty OP around here. And, well, obviously it's a brand new circuit, so the player probably isn't up to speed as much as what, you know, I would ideally like. I've really done no laps around here, to be honest. I've done a couple of time trial laps, a few Grand Prix laps, and other than that, I think I've done 2 ranked races around here in online, and that was probably on the first day I got the game, so I haven't actually driven here in probably 5 days or something, so yeah, this is definitely going to be an interesting one to see where we go. I think we have got a few upgrades on the car for this race. I think we had an engine upgrade, don't quote me on that though. I can't remember back to last episode and what went on yesterday. Now, just while we're running through practice, as you can see, it was fairly uneventful. Just got through all the programs relatively nice and easily. As I say that, we actually go for a spin through the long right-hander, so that's a great way to start the session. But yeah, anyway, getting back to what I wanted to say, I have a couple of episodes pre-recorded. Obviously, I'm recording this one. Currently, it's about 3 in the afternoon, and this is round 3. I have China and the Netherlands all set to be recorded and go out. So I've already done both of those races. I did all 3 of these races yesterday, actually. I did this one at about lunchtime, then I did China at 5 o'clock or something, I think it was, and then I did the Dutch Grand Prix at like 10 at night, so you can't question my commitment. I'm trying, guys, I promise you that. I'm trying to keep these daily uploads going and doing everything I can to try and keep the content coming, as I know there was a bit of a lack in uploads not too long ago, and I really wasn't pleased with that. But anyway, hopefully that was just a one-off, and I can keep these uploads coming, and hopefully you guys keep enjoying them. But I think it's time we go chat to Claire, unfortunately.
Good day today. Let's have your take on it. Are there any drivers that you've got a rivalry with at the moment?
Okay, so we've got 2 choices. We get the exact same acclaim no matter which one we choose, so it's either got to be Danny Kvyat or Kimi Räikkönen. I thought about this, and we're going to go Kimi Räikkönen.
It's the start of the season. How do you think things are going to go for you?
Look, I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell this early. I mean, only, what, 2 races down? We're definitely looking good so far, but obviously we're going to keep the upgrades coming, and yeah, we just got to keep trucking along.
Great. Well, that's everything.
Alright, so we'll switch over to FP2 now, as I decided to leave the qualifying pace practice program till Friday practice 2, as the first one was really just all about getting used to the track and a lot of race running as well. But as you can see, as we come into the final sector, we're over a second down. So the qualifying lap time that we've got to beat is massively quick, and that's not going to help.
Are you alright? Engine off, engine off.
Alright, so that brought a pretty abrupt end to FP2 for us. And yeah, as you can see, we're running, I think we're still running on 105 AI at this point. And well, as you can see, we were really pushing the boundaries there to try and keep up with the target time that had been set for us. We were losing time on the straights, and we were losing even more in the corners, so yeah, overstepped the mark a little bit there, so bit of work to do for the boys, so sorry about that. But anyway, hopefully they should have the car repaired before qualifying, and we can get out there and try and get into Q2. Not gonna lie, confidence levels weren't high. I was actually thinking before I set foot into this qualifying session that I'd probably end up on the back row. As you can see, I'm probably going to do something here which is not going to help that cause. We're going to bump up the AI difficulty to 106. So we're not running 105 anymore, guys. Now we're up to 106. So I don't know why I'm doing that, to be honest. As if anything, 105 is probably a tad bit too high. But I mean, if you guys know me, I don't like to have it set on 102 or anything stupid. I don't like to, you know, have it nice and easy. I like to try and push the boundaries and really get the maximum out of the car that we possibly can. And that's what we're trying to do here on our very first qualifying lap. Pretty decent run through the final couple of corners. This penultimate corner here is a really odd one. It's really awkward to get right. And same goes for the final corner. Really probably should actually be staying in fourth gear through there. Couldn't get my words out there. But yeah, this is a real difficult track to get right. Only just over 90 seconds long for the professional player anyway. But yeah, as you can see, very long sweeping right-hander there. We get a little bit crossed up, 4 tenths up at the moment already, so pretty decent start to the final lap of the session. But yeah, like I was saying, this is just such a hard track to get right. A lot of heavy braking zones and a lot of interesting corners to try and get through as well. Most notably that one right there, kind of well, kind of half of a roundabout, to be fair, as we got through there fairly well, I'd say. We're just over half a second up as we come down this almighty long back straight. This is probably longer than the one in Baku. Not too sure about that actually, but anyway, on the brakes we get it stopped nicely for the hairpin there. We gained about another 2.5 tenths through that corner as well, so now we're 8 tenths up. As we come into the final sector, we go a little bit deep though, and that is not going to help our cause through this very fast and flowing section. Now we survived where we binned it in practice, so we haven't done that again. Schumacher only in 20th at the moment, so not a good session for Mick Schumacher as it seems. But we're going to come out of the penultimate corner through the final corner now. We're going to improve by basically a second. Schumacher goes up to P18. Do we make it out of Q1? I don't think so. And the answer is no. Only 19th position on the grid. Bugger. That, well, I say that once again. I mean, we've out-qualified both the Williams and I think Mick Schumacher, if I'm not mistaken. So we've probably done the best that we could actually do there. And I can confirm we have out-qualified our German teammate. So it's P19 and P20 on the grid for the Spiker cars. And once again, two Haas... Gee, I can't speak English today, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, guys. Two Haas cars, two Spikers, and two Williams eliminated in the first part of qualifying. There we go, finally got the words out. I can't seem to speak today, I don't know what's going on. But anyway, rivalry breakdown. As I said earlier, we've chosen Kimi Räikkönen as our rival. First blood goes to him in qualifying. Hopefully we'll be able to get him back during the race. But who knows, time will tell. But let's go to the race and, I don't know, let's wing it and see what we can do.
Tough luck there. It's not quite where we'd want to be on the grid, but chin up, it's not the end of the world.
The Formula One circus has arrived in Southeast Asia once more, as we usher in a new era and get ready to go racing here in Vietnam. A lap of Hanoi circuit then, 3.4 miles around the Vietnamese capital. A number of the 23 corners take their inspiration from other great circuits, hopefully creating plenty of passing opportunities. And as always, a man with plenty of racing experience joins me in the commentary box. Today it's Anthony Davidson. Tell me, Ant, you're no stranger to surviving the melee of turn one. So how do you keep out of trouble when there's so much going on around you?
There are three main things to worry about there, Crofty. Positioning, awareness and discipline. First, you have to put your car in a bit of space and make sure you have room to react to what the others are doing. Then you have to watch your mirrors and listen to the sounds around you to get a sense of where everyone is. And finally, just don't get too greedy. Just because a gap exists doesn't always mean you should go for it.
Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Good job yesterday from Valtteri Bottas. The Finn starts from pole position, and it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Verstappen, Leclerc, Sebastian Vettel, and Albon, Sainz, Ricciardo, Norris, and Sergio Perez, Kvyat, Ocon, Pierre Gasly, and Stroll, Raikkonen, Giovinazzi, Romain Grosjean, and Kevin Magnussen, Lee, Schumacher, Russell, and Nicholas Latifi. Now, it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Alright, so here we are, guys, on the grid for the very first time here at Vietnam. Not gonna lie, I was excited to get this race underway, but pretty nervous at the same time. I had no idea what to expect. Obviously, running 106 on the AI difficulty now. Only bumped it up by 1 click, so you would think that that probably wouldn't do a hell of a lot, but yeah, I'm still not liking my chances of trying to bring home another points finish. Obviously, if you have seen the previous episode uploaded yesterday at the Bahrain Grand Prix, spoiler alert, we were on for another points finish, and a pretty solid one at that, until yours truly made a very odd error. That's just the way I'm going to describe it, which ended up costing me a bit of front wing, causing an extra pit stop, and put us out of contention for points. So hopefully that doesn't happen again. Just a quick side note as well, I apologise if some of the pictures in the replay shots do look a little bit laggy. I'm not too sure what's going on there, but anyway, we'll worry about that a bit later. But we get ready to race here at Hanoi. The lights go out very quickly, just like they did in Bahrain, but it's a great launch from us. Are we going to look for a move on Romain Grosjean? Kevin Magnussen still on our left. We go very deep into T1, almost rear-ending Antonio Giovinazzi there. The Alphas 3 wide there with Lance Stroll. Gio comes out on top in that battle. We're going to send it up the inside of Kimi and Lance Stroll, and I think we actually get that move done, do we? No, I think Kimi is still there on our left, and he is, so our rival gets back ahead of us. Romain Grosjean right behind us as well, but we're going to send it back up the inside of Kimi Raikkonen, and I think we just about get the job done, and we do. Kimi had to back out of it there wasn't enough room, and that is up to P15, so 4 spots gained off the start. So once again, we definitely seem to be pretty good. It starts on this year's game. Definitely not as difficult, I'd say, to get these cars off the line as what it has been previously. But down into the braking zone for the first time, we brake very late there, send it up the inside of Pierre Gasly. That was actually not my intention, believe it or not, but they just braked so early, and kind of caught me by surprise. But now we're going to have to go the long way around the outside at the same place where we binned it in FP2, but we avoid doing that again, and that is up to P14 now. So we dispose of the AlphaTauri, demote him back to P15, so 5 spots gained in 3/4 of a lap basically. So very good start for one of the Spiker cars. I'm not too sure about Mick Schumacher. I think he's still down in 20th or something like that. I think he's back there with the Williams actually. But anyway, we'll cut back and have a look at him in a moment. But cutting on to lap 3 at the end of the back straight, we go extremely deep and almost completely take out Antonio Giovinazzi there. I did not expect the AI to be that early on the brakes. Completely caught me unawares. Gio thought about trying to look back up the inside, but we completely shut the door on him, and that is up to P13. Having a look back at Mick Schumacher now, as he's embroiled in a scrap with the Williams. I say the Williams, it's one of them. There's, who is that? I think it's George Russell, is it? I think so, I couldn't quite tell. But that is Mick Schumacher up to P20, so hopefully he can set off after a couple of the guys just up the road. But cutting on to lap 4, Gio now comes back at us into the hairpin on the very next lap. We try to fight back, but we get a massive tank slapper and nothing we can do there, unfortunately. So back down to P14, and this is really just a bit of a yo-yo effect at the moment. Onto lap 5 now. Here comes the other Alfa Romeo of Kimi Räikkönen trying to look for a move on us into the hairpin. We leave him as much space as we possibly can, and we maintain P14 with better drive out of the hairpin. We're able to keep him behind. Let's head up to the front now, riding on board with Max Verstappen, currently in P4 I think, as he has a massive moment there, completely loses the back end. Now, that's something new that I must admit I've seen from the AI. They do seem to make some pretty sizable mistakes, which is kind of cool to see, to be honest. It's nice to actually see the AI making a few mistakes here and there, and know that you know, they're not totally immune to any small little errors that might cost them. But Lewis Hamilton coming out of the pits there, and he's on hard tyres now. He quickly disposed of Giovinazzi, and now on lap 9 we're going to try and do the exact same. Down into the hairpin we go, very deep, trying to be the last of the late breakers, and we get the move done on Giovinazzi. I really wanted to do that just so I had a bit of protection to Kimi Räikkönen, if I'm brutally honest. But cutting on to lap 10, we now got Valtteri Bottas right behind us as the Finn is trying to go round the outside in that left-hander. That was very, it was an interesting attempt at an overtake from Valtteri, I must say. But anyway, into the pits now for the first time at Vietnam. And the first stint has been pretty good. I think realistically we're probably going to be battling for maybe P12, P13, unless there's any retirements or any safety cars or something like that. I'm actually wondering whether the safety car is a thing in this game, because I do have it enabled, but I don't think we've even had a VSC so far, and that includes at China and the Netherlands, which I've already recorded. So yeah, not too sure whether the safety car is actually in this year's game. Could be broken, or it just, yeah, it just could have absolutely no interest to make an appearance on track, which is fair enough. But anyway, on to lap 14 now. The race kind of settled down for a little bit, really just running our own pace as fast as we can, obviously, while trying not to take too much out of the tyres, as I think we've got a yellow flag up ahead. Charles Leclerc is out of the Vietnam Grand Prix, so one of the Ferraris with, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that's a reliability failure. You can see him there parked off to the left hand side, so I'm not too sure what's happened there to Charles, but that is his race done and dusted.
Okay, clear.
On the upside, it's a free position for us though, up to P13. Let's go and have a look at what happened to the Scuderia, and yep, another engine failure for the AI. That's the third one in 3 races, I think, and he nearly takes out his teammate Sebastian Vettel there. So that could have been a double disaster for Ferrari there. They definitely got lucky. But anyway, on to, what is this, lap 18 now on the back straight. Here comes Daniel Ricciardo up her, or down her outside, I should say. We're going to try and fight back into the hairpin, down to neutral momentarily to try and get the thing slowed down. We maintain P10 for the moment, but I do feel like it's a bit of a wasted effort, if I'm honest. But cutting on to the next lap, now we're in the slipstream of Sergio Perez. Are we going to look for a move on the racing point? No, we don't. And that definitely saved me a little bit that time around, I will admit, as having the DRS off another car just gave me enough speed to keep the charging Ricciardo and Albon at bay for another lap. And I must say, the AI, they're certainly not afraid to stick their nose in a little gap, so you've really got to be careful about leaving them room, because you leave them an inch and they will stick their nose up the inside and try and make a move, even if it's quite risky to do so. So you've got to watch out for that. But on to lap 21. Now, this could end very badly. Perez almost squeezes us in the wall there. Ricciardo on the outside, 3 wide into the hairpin. This isn't going to end well. We're going to bunny up the curb a little bit there Daniel goes right around the outside of the pair of us. Awesome move there from the Renault up to P8. We do get out of Perez, so up to P9. But here comes Alex Albon now on lap 22, making the moves on Sergio Perez. We try and squeeze him as far as we can without making contact, but Albon gets up to P9. I try and fight back, but there's just nothing I could do there. I mean, we're going to lose out in a fight against a Red Bull. I mean, it's second or third best car on the grid. We can't fight that. But on to lap 23, Perez now sends it up our inside down into the hairpin. And this is really where all the action was during the race. All the moves were basically made at the hairpin. And, well, yeah, that was it. All the moves were made at the hairpin, basically. There wasn't a lot of action, or there was stuff all action everywhere else. But, anyway, we get demoted to P11, so we're now outside the points, which is a little unfortunate. But I think this is probably where we're going to end up. We've got a pretty big gap to the guys behind. Tyre wear is definitely creeping up there a bit. We're almost at the 80% window, but we cut on to the final lap. Lewis Hamilton wins the inaugural Vietnam Grand Prix, so Mercedes once again on top here today. So I reckon Lewis will be pretty pleased with that result, as I think that's what, 2 in a row now for Hamilton. So very, very happy British driver, I wouldn't mind guessing.
That was amazing, guys. That was wicked.
So a very, very happy Lewis Hamilton wins the Vietnam Grand Prix. Valtteri Bottas comes home P2. Max Verstappen P3. Another good result for Red Bull. But cutting back to us, front tyres are absolutely shot. 81 and 82% on the left and right side respectively. But all in all, even though we're not going to score points, I still feel like this has been a pretty successful Vietnam Grand Prix. From 19th on the grid, we've come up to finish P11, and I'll take that.
That's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Ferme.
Well, they've done a brilliant job, I must say, under some intense pressure to take a well-earned victory here at the Vietnam Grand Prix. Talk to me, Ants. What was it that set them apart from the competition today?
Well, this was a real team victory. They put together a solid strategy today that appeared well suited to the conditions out on track. The driver did everything that was expected of them in the moment to really execute the team's plan to perfection. A shining example of how F1 really is a team sport.
Mercedes are on top form once again after an excellent race weekend. It's great to see them up on that podium once again.
Alright, so there we go guys, that has been today's video. My team career mode from Hanoi, round 3. A pretty successful race if I'm honest. I know we didn't score points, but I'm still pretty pleased with that. As looks like we've, I think this is something to do with the podium pass, that was. Need to actually look into that a bit further. I think what that does is mainly just unlock some liveries, some new suits, helmets, and stuff along those lines. So we'll definitely look into that a little bit later on. But anyway, there we go. Lewis Hamilton wins the Vietnam Grand Prix. Valtteri Bottas home to make it a Mercedes 1-2. Max Verstappen rounds out the podium in P3. Looking down the rest of the field, Mick Schumacher P17, not too bad. Charles Leclerc, the only retiree from the Grand Prix, so definitely a bit of work to do for the Monegasque driver. A dismal Australian Grand Prix, second place at Bahrain, and now a retirement at Vietnam, so Charles really not having the best start to his championship campaign. But championship standings for us, demoted once again, down to P12, but still with 2 points next to our name is a pretty solid effort with only 3 rounds gone by. We get demoted to P8 in the Constructors as AlphaTauri jumps up to P7, but I'm still pretty pleased with that. And let's have a look at the rivalry breakdown. It looks like we both get 3 points from that race, so advantage still lies with Kimi Räikkönen, 5-4 for the rivalry. So yeah, we got a little bit of work to do there. But Team Acclaim not quite up to level 5. So hopefully maybe by China we might be able to put a new sponsor on the car. But don't quote me on that. I can't remember exactly what actually happened late last night. As I said, I did record those races quite late on into the evening. So yeah, my memory isn't really the best. So yeah, sorry for that. But anyway, we're going to assign a few activities just to keep everybody occupied and hopefully boost the Team Acclaim and hopefully bring in some cash as well while we're at it, as we definitely need to keep that money flowing in. Otherwise, as time goes by, we might find ourselves in a little bit of strife. But that is not a concern at the moment, thankfully. Hopefully it stays that way. But anyway, having a look at the R&D side of things, can't do anything with the chassis until we upgrade the facility, so we'll look at doing that maybe after China if all goes well. But anyway, we'll have to wait and see what happens next time. I'm thinking of maybe doing a rear downforce upgrade, as that is available, so I think we'll do that. Yes, we will. That should come in time for the Dutch Grand Prix, so hopefully that doesn't fail and that can go on the car. Same too for an engine upgrade. So we're looking good for the next couple of rounds anyway. And as I said, guys, I've got round 4 and 5 already completed or recorded, so hopefully 2 more daily uploads on the way, fingers crossed anyway. But anyway, that's going to do it from me today, guys. Hope you've enjoyed. If you do, you know what to do, I don't need to tell you anymore. But once again, thank you guys for coming along, appreciate all the support as always. Hope you've enjoyed, and until the next one, the Chinese Grand Prix, hope you're all well, stay safe, and I'll see you all later. Have a good one.